How do you develop an immunity to something? You have to have that something in you. My sister happened to be here, and we got into a conversation about that. And this is what she told me in the very beginning. Let your kids get a little bit sick every once in a while. They need it. We are in contact with bugs all day long. I mean, bugs like microscopic bugs, things, and other like roaches. They carry little bugs around too. The bugs carry bugs. So we're around this kind of stuff all day long, and our body is designed to be in defensive mode all the time. Our skin cells, and this is the biggest thing I've said about viruses. If viruses got into cells to change the DNA, why do we have to breathe them in to have a cold? Why don't we just get it through the skin? And this is the comparison I did on looking at what is the size of the cell, what is the size of the virus, and what is the size of our receptor sites that absorb things into the cell. And if it's not done through the receptor sites, say like the protein chains and nutrition that we need, vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates, all that kind of stuff that empower our body, there is a mechanism where the cells do absorb things through the cell wall using the phospholipids and the proteins. And proteins are amazing. Proteins and enzymes are absolutely amazing if you go do any research on it and how they work in our body, because that's the workforce in our body is the enzymes and the protein. And that's what DNA does. It encodes for proteins. They call them building blocks. And it's really interesting to look at how a protein folds into a specific geometric shape, like a cog in a wheel, to go do work, to go fix something in the body. That happens immediately. Just get a cut on your skin. You hit a knife, you got a cut, you start bleeding. What happens immediately? The proteins go to work, coagulate, and stop the blood, and then you end up with a scab. All done by proteins and enzymes, every single bit of that. So when I looked at the cell, the average skin cell is about 30 microns in size, which would be micrometers. Well, if the virus is measured in nanometers, and they're, quote, getting into our cells inside of our body, then why don't they just get into the cells in our skin? We already know our skin is there to protect everything in our body. That's our first line of defense of everything. Our nose, it's got little hairs in there to do what? Keep out bad stuff. Now, obviously, we know that even these colds and viruses and stuff, they call them rhinoviruses because they usually start in the nose, which is my whole problem with the fact that why would I want to inject this into my blood and bypass all my body's defense mechanisms, which is my nose and my lungs? I'm just giving opinions, too, about this. Go research this stuff for yourself. I'm not an expert in this. I'm not a physician. I'm not a virologist. I am pretty good when it comes to nuclear power and atoms. See, I was asked in a debate one time, this guy said, well, why would I believe somebody who's a physicist about something related to biology? And I'm like, oh, so you're asking me about your cells, right? What do I know about cells? And he said, yeah. I said, you got any of those cells that are made out of atoms and molecules? Our bodies are like electromagnetic biochemical manufacturing machines. So there is an interaction between the electromagnetic and atoms, our molecules, and how everything in our body functions.
If you're enjoying the content on this channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that bell icon so that you don't miss any future updates. We live in a world now where propaganda and censorship are the rule of the day. YouTube presentations, Facebook presentations, or any other presentation will not have completed information. If you'd like to see a complete interview, plus more content like this, then please subscribe to my Patreon, David Williams Unleashed, and then check out our membership site, Get Out of the System, because you can't get out of this system until you get the system out of you. Thanks for watching.